Fargo is here, and for the first time ever, the girls are competing on their own dedicated days, which means no more sharing the mats with the boys. This decision is super telling on the state of women's wrestling and just how far it's come. Girls were first allowed to compete at Fargo in 2002. 103 girls competed that year, representing 24 states. This year, 1,593 girls competed across 2 divisions, representing 48 states and Puerto Rico. Look at this shot right here. Everyone in this building is here for women's wrestling, so we thought we'd reflect on the growth of the girls' Fargo division and how Fargo has helped women's wrestling grow as a whole. To do that, we grabbed interviews with Team Ohio coach Vanessa Oswald and Team California coach Melinda Ripley. These women are trailblazers of the sport and 2 of the first competitors in the Fargo girls division.
I wrestled in the second Fargo tournament for girls back in 2003.
I was one of the first Fargo national champions 21 years ago. I competed in Fargo under Team California and won their first national title 21 years ago.
How has Fargo changed since you were here for the first time?
So 2002, there was only one division. We had only the junior age division that you can compete in. Obviously, we had smaller brackets, quicker tournament, but overall, it was just a smaller tournament with the opportunity for growth.
It's impressive to see the growth of it. It's very inspiring. When I was here in 2003, it was very eye-opening. It was my first year here. It was really my first big tournament. And I felt kind of like an outcast as a girl being here because there were so many guys. But now it's like we come here and we are just so welcomed. And it's like the girls have a spot here and that's our spot. So it's definitely a different feel and very welcoming. And the girls deserve to be here, and they show it out here.
To see what we've done, cadet, junior division, and to see that we have our own days here and that we're that big where we have to have our own sessions now is truly phenomenal. And it takes everybody. It takes USA Wrestling, it takes every state, every director, every coach, every hometown coach to get here.
I'm loving sharing the passion that I had with this sport with girls because I really could only share it with guys that were around. So now I get to, coach a whole team and lead that team as well. So it's very empowering and inspiring, and these girls push me to be a better coach and a better person, as well as me being able to push them. This tournament has really helped the growth of girls wrestling and give a spotlight to the girls, and it gives colleges an opportunity to really be able to recruit out here because there's a lot of folk style tournaments, but there's not a whole lot of big freestyle tournaments, and this gives them a centralized tournament where they can talk to these girls and really build those relationships as well, whether they're coaches or just coming out and recruiting.
So Fargo was kind of the starting point of putting us in that spotlight. I had been to cadet nationals and junior nationals in a small, almost high school room setting or gym setting. And I remember senior year of high school, Fargo, and I was one of the leaders on the team. And I was like, hey, we have opportunity in our hands right now, but we got to make sure we do this right so that we can continue to grow. But I remember the feeling when I was a senior in high school of this is our growth right here. And we got to continue to grow on these levels with these people in the crowd, with people supporting us, both men and women, so that we can expand. But Fargo was kind of the turning point for this age division to have that opportunity.
Did your girls get excited to come to Fargo?
Oh, 100%. So California, we brought 110 athletes this year, which is the biggest team we've ever brought for the females. We do camps beforehand. We do a lot of goal setting, our whys, and showing them that they have their own light and to own their greatness, and they get excited to come out here and display the work they've been putting in all postseason.
Do you think any of your girls even realize that women used to not be able to compete at this tournament?
I try to educate the girls as much as I can, especially with the growth of women's wrestling, and let them know what the milestones were. 2002 was the first year. I competed in 2003. I didn't win my first national title until 2005. I tell them that women's wrestling wasn't even in the Olympics until 2004. And so we're only less than 20 years from that moment, and really educate these girls because right now they live in the moment. They don't really think about that, but any female I used to wrestle or that had placed, I make sure I point them out, like, hey, that female did this, that female did this, that was a teammate of mine. Just to let them know it was rare back in the day. And so yeah, I just try and educate them as best I can.
If we're not teaching our history, shame on us. We, in our national team camps and stuff, we always go through women's history, try to appreciate the women that came before us. We'll do interviews with Trish Saunders, Christy Davis. Thankfully, a bunch of them are my good friends. So I make sure that I highlight and make sure they're educated in it. What other states do, I don't know, but I hope that they're highlighting and I hope they're educating people, because we should know our history, and our history is very short compared to men's wrestling, but we should understand it and we should appreciate what we've been through it and the boundaries and mountains we climbed to break it all down.
Growing up, did you have any women coaches? Like
no women coaches, and somebody just asked me this question, who inspired you as a female? And you know, I had Trish Saunders from a distance, and she would call and check in on me, but honestly, our generation, we built ourselves into the women we are today to help lead these generations up.
So back when I was wrestling, I had all male coaches, and it wasn't until Jim Spielman, he's a referee out here, he started coaching me, and he got connected with Melinda, who's now the director of California, and she actually came and coached us. So that was my first experience, is having a female as a coach, and I'm like, she is a baddie, and I was like, okay, like it was inspiring to have her come and coach and know that females can do this as well. They can be wrestlers, they can be coaches. It's not just we're in a boys sport. And so Melinda really played a big role in that. And so I give her mad props, and she's like kicking butt out here, being a director, and it's I love her.
The other person I interviewed for this was Vanessa Oswald, and she actually mentioned that you were her first female coach.
I was.
She said that it was like a huge deal to her.
Yeah, so don't tell anybody, but I did coach Ohio once. I was a broke athlete though. And I think I had like 6, 7 girls on the team, and Vanessa Oswald was one, and I ended up mentoring her, and we still talk today. That's when I realized, oh, what I do is important. Like, I didn't know I was a pioneer. I didn't know I was a groundbreaker. I was just wrestling because I loved it.